I keep circling back to Nathan. I don't even know why exactly. Maybe because every time he shows up on screen, something in me just tightens a little. Not in a dramatic way, not fireworks, just that small, uncomfortable shift. Like when you walk into a room and something is slightly moved, you can't point at it, but you know it. That is Nathan lately. And I can't shake it. Of course, whatever this secret is, it is still a secret. Locked up tight, buried under layers of silence and half conversations. In the world of General Hospital, nothing stays hidden forever. We all know that. Secrets rot. They leak. They explode at weddings, funerals, hospital corridors. So I'm not saying this will stay buried. I'm saying it feels like we are standing in that quiet moment before the door bursts open. There's been speculation, and honestly, it doesn't sound that crazy in this universe, that Nathan was programmed, not just manipulated emotionally, but programmed physically. His body altered, his mind adjusted, like a device that was reconfigured. And sometimes I go further than that. What if the Nathan we are watching is not even the original Nathan? What if he is a copy, a replica, a clean version, built from old data but updated with something else inside? I know that sounds extreme, but we have seen extreme before. We have seen faces changed, memories rewritten, people declared dead and then strolling back into town as if time was a suggestion. So a copy of Nathan does not feel impossible. It feels disturbingly plausible. What makes it worse is that he changed. And I don't mean he matured or he grew or he became more assertive. I mean he changed in a way that is visible to us. The audience can see it. We feel it. Yet most of the characters inside the world of Port Charles do not react the way they should. That disconnect bothers me. It makes me feel like we are being shown something on purpose. Take the knowledge about the periodic table. It sounds small, almost silly, but it is not small if you really think about it. Nathan of the past was a cop, a practical man, focused on cases, criminals, real-world problems. He was not the type to dive into scientific research or casually reference chemical elements like a graduate student. He was not obsessed with lab theories. That just was not his personality. He lived in action, not in research papers. And yet Kurt Nathan casually reveals that he understands the periodic table, that he can discuss elements with ease. That detail stuck with me, because knowledge like that does not appear out of thin air. Yes, people can learn. Of course they can. But this did not feel like someone who picked up a hobby. It felt integrated, natural, as if it had always been there. So where did that come from? Was he educated differently at some point? Was something added to him? A memory implant? A cognitive upgrade? I keep thinking about laboratories, secret facilities. People in white coats whispering while machines hum in the background. I know, it sounds like science fiction. But in this show, science fiction bleeds into everyday life without warning. Then there is the way he treated Liesl. That moment was not small. That moment was loud, even though it was just a conversation. Nathan of the past would never be rude to his biological mother, Liesl Obrecht. Never. Even when he disagreed with her. Even when he knew she was wrong. He might argue gently, he might push back, but disrespect was not in his nature. He loved her in that complicated way that only children of difficult parents can understand. There was loyalty there, and history, and guilt, and gratitude. But recently he snapped at her. He argued sharply when she tried to stop him from loving Lulu. That reaction felt off. Not just stronger, but colder, like the emotional filter was missing. And what struck me even more was Liesl's reaction. She looked shocked. Not theatrical shock, not exaggerated soap shock, but genuinely unsettled, as if she was seeing a stranger wearing her son's face. I felt that through the screen. She immediately went to Britt in anger, venting, trying to make sense of it. Which brings me to Britt. Britt Westbourne did not react the way I expected. That is the part that bothers me the most. Because Britt knows her brother. She knows that he would not speak to their mother that way. She knows his patterns, his loyalty, his tone, yet she was not shocked. Not really. Why? That question is sitting there like a rock in my stomach. Why was Britt not more disturbed? Why did she not say, "This is not like him"? Instead, she seemed calm, almost too calm, as if she had already processed something that Liesl had not. Maybe Britt knows the truth. Maybe she knows something about Nathan that she cannot reveal. And if that is the case, then the implications are huge, because Britt has her own history with deception. She once faked her death. She has lived in shadows before. She understands what it means to hide a massive truth from the people who love you. So if Nathan is a copy, or altered, or reprogrammed, maybe Britt discovered it first. Maybe she is protecting him, or protecting herself, or protecting Liesl from a truth that would break her completely. I keep imagining a scenario where Liesl has no idea, where she thinks both her children are exactly who they appear to be. Meanwhile, one of them, maybe both, are not entirely original anymore. And that thought leads me to Sidwell and Cullum. In this fictional world, technology does not follow normal limits. If someone like Sidwell and Cullum had access to advanced research, what could they do? Brain transplants, neural mapping, personality transfers. It sounds insane, but so did memory swaps once upon a time. Imagine if they developed a technique to remove a brain and implant it into another body, or to copy neural pathways and recreate them in a synthetic host. Imagine if they could tweak aggression, loyalty, intelligence with minor surgical adjustments, a small incision, a recalibration, and suddenly someone you love is just slightly different. That slight difference is what we are seeing in Nathan. Sometimes I even wonder if Nathan is actually Peter, or if Peter's consciousness was inserted into Nathan's body. I know that theory feels wild, but the personality shifts, the colder reactions, the sharper edge, it makes me question everything. Either Nathan is being influenced, or he is not entirely himself. Or maybe the simplest explanation is the most unsettling one. Maybe he is Nathan, the real Nathan, but someone altered his personality, adjusted him, softened certain parts, sharpened others, like editing a document. Delete empathy here, increase ambition there. And if that is true, then who benefits? Because in Port Charles, change is never random. Someone always gains power. Someone always profits. I keep going back to that scene with Liesl. The way she looked at him, a mother knows. Even if she cannot articulate it, she feels it. That instinct is not something you can program away. If she sensed something wrong, then something is wrong. But she might be in denial. Or she might not have enough evidence to confront it. And Britt standing there, not reacting, not panicking, that silence might be the loudest clue of all. Maybe Britt has seen medical records. Maybe she has accessed files she was not supposed to see. Maybe she knows that at some point Nathan was taken somewhere, operated on, returned. And she decided to stay quiet because the alternative was too terrifying. Because what do you do if your brother is not entirely your brother anymore? Do you expose it and risk losing him completely? Or do you pretend, adjust, adapt? I do not think this storyline is random. I think the writers are planting breadcrumbs. The knowledge about chemistry, the shift in tone, the unexpected disrespect, the uneven reactions. None of that feels accidental. And yes, I am aware I might be overthinking. But in this show, overthinking is survival. The quiet details are usually the ones that explode later. If Nathan turns out to be a copy, it would be tragic. It would mean the original Nathan might be gone, or trapped, or dead. And the man we are watching is a reconstruction. That idea makes my chest feel tight. If he is programmed, then he is a victim, used as a tool, stripped of autonomy. That is equally horrifying. And if he is Peter in disguise, then everything we thought we understood collapses. I do not have proof. I just have patterns and instincts and that persistent feeling that something is off. Maybe in a few months this will all be revealed and I will either feel vindicated or ridiculous. But right now, watching Nathan speak with knowledge he never cared about before, watching him snap at Liesl in a way that feels foreign, watching Britt remain calm when she should be shaken, I cannot ignore it. There is a fracture in the story, a hairline crack. You can only see it if you tilt your head and look closely. And I am looking